this video, we will be solving Cambridge Lower Secondary Checkpoint. And today we're going to solve paper 1 in science, which takes place in April 2023. Now, move to question 1, which is the one about biology. And we have to complete these sentences. The excretory system filters blood, and the blood enters the something where it is filtered and urine is formed. So what filters the blood? That has to be kidney. And this urine passes along a tube called the ureter towards the bladder, because this one is a tube connects the kidney and the bladder. So its name is ureter. And the urine is stored in the bladder. Urine is released from the body through a different tube called the urethra. So remember, there are two kind of tubes in the excretory system, and that would be ureter, and urethra. And part B, the table shows the percentage concentration of 4 substances in blood, plasma, and in urine. And here are 4 substances: ammonia, protein, salt, and urea. And which substance has the greatest increase in the urine compared to plasma? So I recommend you to have another column here for the increase. So then I'm gonna label it with the increase, and then I try to calculate. So the first one is from 0, the ammonia, from 0 in blood plasma to 0.05. So the increase is 0.05. And the second one, from 9 to 0. So the increase is a negative. From 0.6 to 0.9, the increase is 0.3. And from 0.03 to 2 is gonna be 80, no, I think 1.87. So the increase would be greatest when it is urea, this one. So we're gonna write it down here, urea. Okay, move to question number 2. Aiko calculates the density of some objects, and we know that the mass is 19.68 grams and the volume is 2.5 cubic centimeters. Write down the equation used to calculate density. So it is mass over volume, and this is the formula that you have to bear in mind. And calculate the density of Aiko's block of iron. So then mass is 19.68 divided by 2.5. And remember, the unit has to be matched with the previous one. This one is gram, this is gram. This is cubic centimeters, this is cubic centimeter. So yes, we use calculator. 19.68 divided by 2.5, which is 7.872. So part B, Aiko calculates the density of 4 objects, and which one of them is a gas? So, because gas is the one that has the lowest density out of solid, liquid, and gas. So we're gonna choose C, because C has the lowest density. Because C has the lowest density. Number 3, look at the diagram of a vacuum flask. And this one would keep the hot liquid warm. And which material is the most suitable to make the stopper, which is this one? We have copper, gold, iron, plastic, and 3 of them are good conductor. I mean good thermal conductor. So it is not good for making the stopper. So then plastic would be the best choice because it is a good insulator. Part B suggests how the shiny silver surfaces. So here are shiny silver surfaces, and the surfaces would help to keep the liquid warm, because when the liquid inside the flask emits the energy, I mean thermal energy, then it would be reflected back to the liquid. So because silver surfaces are good thermal reflector. So then when the thermal energy comes to them, and then it will be reflected back to the original position. Part B, II. The vacuum does not contain any particles. Explain why the vacuum reduces the transfer of thermal energy. So there's a vacuum area between the 2 silver surfaces. So as we know, there are 3 types of thermal energy transfer. There will be convection, conduction, and radiation. And 2 of them, convection and conduction, they need particles to transfer energy. So we will explain this question like, because convection and conduction cannot take place where there is no particles. Okay, part C. Gabrielle removes the lid and the stopper from the vacuum flask, and some of the hot liquid evaporates. And what happens to the temperature of liquid that remains in the vacuum flask? And explain why. And we have to use ideas about particles. Because you know what, the particles near the surface of the liquid would, escape out of the liquid. The particles near the surface have more energy, and they will escape from the liquid. So then liquid would, decrease in the energy. And number 4, the Earth's crust is made of a number of large pieces. And what would be the name given for these pieces? And it has to be tectonic plates. Just this one is just a fact, and you have to remember. And B, look at the map showing the positions of earthquakes around the world in 2021, and suggest how the position of earthquakes provides evidence for large pieces of the crust. So here is a place where a lot of earthquakes happens. So How it provides the evidence? So the answer would be that because inside the earth there is, um, an earthquake. So the earthquake would happen at the boundaries of these pieces. So where there is a lot of earthquakes, it means that there is a boundary of the pieces here. So we can answer this one is because the earthquake earthquakes happen at the boundaries of the tectonic plates. Because you know what? Tectonic plates are large pieces of the crust. So we can use two terms exchangeably. Part C. Look at the two maps showing the jigsaw appearance of the continental coasts. And what is meant by the jigsaw appearance of the continental coasts? It means that we can combine, we can fit these continental coasts like a jigsaw puzzle. We can fit, or we can say that because continental coasts can fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. And the next one is the continents have moved since 3,000 million years ago. Explain how the continents move. And this one would relate to the the movement inside the earth, and specifically that would be the movement of magma and convection currents. So the movement of magma and convection current help pull continents together or far apart. Go to the next question, would be question number 5. And the diagram shows a model of a hydrogen molecule. Name the type of bonding in a hydrogen molecule. As you can see here, the two atoms, they are sharing the electrons. So this one is a covalent bonding. Covalent. And explain, because two atoms share electrons. And part B, look at the diagram showing a chlorine atom and a chloride ion. Describe how a chloride ion is made from a chlorine atom. So here's a chlorine an atom, and here is the ion. They are the same, but there is just one difference between them is here they don't have any here it just have just one electron, and on the right it has another one electron. So we can answer this one is like chlorine atom chlorine atom gains one more electron. Okay, part C, sodium chloride or NaCl is made up of sodium ions and chloride ions. Explain how the ions in sodium chloride are held together. As you can see here, An plus is a positive charge and Cl minus is a negative charge. So they would, attract each other. So I'm gonna write out it as a way like, because the positive ion, that is Na plus, attracts negative ions. So this should be in plural. Attract negative ions, that would be Cl minus. Okay, move to the last question in this video. So question number 6. This is a question about photosynthesis and plant minerals. And here are the diagrams of different plant cells. The first one is onion epidermal cells. The second one is palisade, and then xylem, and then yard, and then epidermal cell in the root. And two diagrams show plant cells that photosynthesize. Then you have to pay attention on the green pigment. So the B contains green pigment and D contains green pigment. So these two, palisade and yard, would be the answer for this. Part B, Carlos investigates the effect of magnesium on plant growth. Carlos makes a hypothesis about the effect of magnesium on plant growth. And here is the equipment he uses. And in the first experiment, here are the steps that he would carry on. Carlos repeats the experiment. So first of all, he set up an experiment with all the minerals needed for a healthy growth. And second, in the second experiment, he would provide everything except for the magnesium to see the difference between these two experiments. So Carlos makes a hypothesis about the effect of magnesium on plant growth, suggests a suitable hypothesis. So the hypothesis here would be like magnesium will makes plants green, because this is the main component in making the chlorophyll, which is the green pigment in plants. And in his first experiment, Carlos used a solution with all the minerals needed for healthy growth. And why he uses and why this is important, because to see the difference between the plants with and without, between the plant growth with and without magnesium. With and without magnesium. Okay. So part C, Carlos draws a diagram to show the appearance of the plant from the first experiment after 4 weeks. So and then repeats the experiment again. In the third experiment, he uses a solution that contains all the minerals needed for a healthy growth except nitrates. So similarly to the previous experiment, which is it does not contain magnesium. In this case, it does not contain nitrate, and predict the appearance of the seedling left in the solution without nitrates after 4 weeks, and give the reason for this. So because it doesn't have nitrate, so less protein would be made. There is no nitrates, hence no less, so we're going to use less protein are made, so the plants will be smaller in size because the plants will not grow properly. So part D would be the last one. Which substance is made inside chloroplast? And obviously it is carbohydrate, because inside the chloroplast it has chlorophyll, which would take in the sunlight and then it would make carbohydrate. Now it's time to solve question number 7. And here are the two waveforms for A and B. And we have to give one similarity between these two. So they have the same amplitude. This one is similar to the same amplitude. And the difference between these two is the frequency. We can see in a certain given time, waveform B have more cycle than waveform A. So that means B has higher frequency than A. And question 8. When asteroids collide with the Earth, they make craters. And Chen uses a model to investigate the effect of asteroid collisions with the Earth. And in his investigation, Chen drops a rock into a container of soil and measures the size of the hole in the soil made by the rock, which is very similar to the experiment that we have done at school. And part A, complete the sentences about Chen's model. In the model, the rock represents asteroid, of course. And the soil represents the Earth. And the hole represents the craters. Part B, write out one strength and one limitation of this of his model of asteroid collisions. So the strength would be easy to carry out and easy to understand, because it's very intuitive, right? And one limitation is that because the asteroid is a really big thing, but the rock is just a small thing, so we cannot represent the exact size of the asteroid. So then you can answer this question in a way like, because rocks are very small compared to real asteroids. Okay. Number 9. Myxomatosis is a disease that kills rabbits. Describe the effect of myxomatosis on the size of rabbit population. Because it kills rabbits, so it means that the rabbit population would decrease. So it would decrease in rabbit population. And part B, foxes hunt rabbits for food. And here's a graph shows the population of foxes and the population of rabbits. And we have to tick the box that shows the population of rabbits. So A or B. But first, we're going to give 2 reasons for the choice that we have made. So, because we see that generally the population of A is higher than the population of B, so we can guess that A is rabbit, because population of A, which is the prey, is higher than population of B, which is predator. And the second thing would be, as you can see here, when the population of rabbit increases, then the population of predator also increases to eat the rabbit. And when the population of the predator or the fox increases to its maximum, then the population of the prey decreases. So we can take this point and put it in our answer. So when population of fox or predator increases, the population of rabbit, which is prey, decreases. So A would be the one for rabbit. Question 10. Blessy makes some magnesium sulfate. So magnesium sulfate. She adds an excess of magnesium to some dilute sulfuric acid, H2SO4, until the reaction stops. Unreacted magnesium is left at the bottom of the solution. And how Blessy separates the magnesium sulfate solution from the unreacted magnesium. So now we need a method to separate a solution from a solid. So the sensible method would be using the filter. And part B, Blessy wants to make solid magnesium sulfate for the magnesium sulfate solution. Describe how she makes solid magnesium sulfate. So she can evaporate evaporate the magnesium sulfate solution. Magnesium sulfate solution. So then what is left is solid magnesium sulfate. Because when that one is evaporated, the water would be the water would escape out of the solution. Part C. Blessing now wants to make zinc chloride. So zinc chloride is this one. Write out the name of the metal and acid. Of course, the metal has to be zinc. So zinc. And the acid, it has to be the combination of hydrogen and chlorine. And that would be hydrochloric acid. 11. The circuit diagram shows the circuit Priya makes using switches and identical lamps. Priya connects a meter to measure the current at position M in the circuit. Draw the correct symbol for the meter she uses to measure the current. So when she wants to measure the current, then she would use the ammeter, would have the symbol like this. And Priya opens and closes different switches. And here's the table. And we have to finish, complete the table by writing. So the first row, switch R closed, S and T open. So lamp J is off. J is off because we have the unopened circuit here. And K and L is off too. Similarly, we have R is open, S and T is closed, they are closed. Then J and L is also off. Because now we have an open circuit here. And the last one, when J is on, K is off, lamp L is on. So then J is on, it means that the R also the closed circuit. And L is on, that means the T is the closed. And K is open, that means the S will be open. So can I write down here, closed, open, and closed. Part C. Describe how Priya connects a voltmeter to measure the voltage. So when we connect a voltmeter, remember to connect them in parallel. So parallel with lamp J. Question 12, also the last question. Pierre investigates the reaction between calcium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid. The reaction gives off carbon dioxide gas, which is CO2. Look at the equipment he uses and write down the name of equipment X. So this is used for measuring the mass. So it has to be electronic balance. Part B. Pierre measures the loss in mass every minute for 4 minutes. And here are the results. Complete the results table. So he measures the loss in mass every minute for 4 minutes. So this heading has to be time in minutes. So because in every minute, so we're gonna write it down as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's take a look at the table. After 1 minute, the loss is 0. Sorry, at the start. So we're gonna start this table with 0, which is the start of the experiment. 3, 4. At 0, we have 0.0. At 1 minute, we have 0.8. After 2 minutes, we have 1.1. After 3, we have 1.2. After 4, we have 1.5. And that would be the last question in this video.